Magandang araw, Pilipinas. Eric Morales Martinez, mula sa lungsod ng Valenzuela. Isa lang ang kandidato na may resume na naging SK Kagawad, Barangay Kagawad, Konsehal ng Bayan, Vice Mayor at Congressman. 33 years of legislative experience, legislatura. Ang trabaho po ng senador ay paggawa ng batas. Hindi man ako sikat, pero yung resume ko, karapat-dapat pagpilian ng sambayan ng Pilipinas.
Kung binanggit nyo na yung resume nyo, no? And 30 years no, of public service, more than 30 years. Pero what are you most proud of doon sa inyong resume? At sa tingin nyo, ano yung parte nito na pinaka-pinaghanda kayo na to seek ngayon na mas mataas na posisyon?
Mahalagang dapat malaman ng sambayan ng Pilipino na sa paggawa ng batas, there's such a thing as legislative meal. When you say legislative meal, there's first reading, second reading, public hearing. Then when you go to the plenary, you will be grilled through debates. So how will you go about it kung hindi kasanay sa paggawa sa legislatura? So yun yung sigurong lakas ng loob ko para sabihin sa sambayan ng Pilipino, I know the job, and I think I could do well being a legislator for the last 33 years of my political career.
Sir, should you win a seat doon sa Senate, no? Ano po bang mga programa at advokasya na ipupush nyo? Kasi yun nga po, paulit-ulit yung binibida ang inyong resume and you do have something to show for it.
Well, una, syempre, kung ano yung nagawa ko sa lungsod ng Valenzuela. People have known me as an advocate of youth and sports development. And my projects in this District 2 of Valenzuela would show it. So we'll take it to the next level by doing something in the development of sports. Kasi nung nasa Kongreso ako noon, I was the chairman of the Committee on Youth and Sports during my second term. And we were able to do a lot of things. Nag-champion tayo sa Southeast Asian Games noon. We won the first Olympic gold with Heidelin Diaz. And of course, the National Academy for Sports na naging batas. Isa ako sa nag-shepherd noon. That's the training center of all our potential athletes dun sa Clark City. So, what I have done in Congress and what I've done in the city of Valenzuela, dadalhin natin sa Senado. And of course, nitong last term ko, naging vice chair din ako ng Committee on Appropriations handling DOTR, transportation. So, part of my agenda when I get to the Senate is to file a bill creating mass transport system. We have to expand the Metro Manila subway system by creating a law, an enabling law that will continue. It's a looking forward law, hindi yung ngayon lang, tas matitigil pagdating nung susunod na presidente. Dapat may batas na naglalayon dito para mag-iba man ang administrasyon, tuloy ang subway sa Metro Manila, tuloy ang railway system from Ilocos Norte down to Bicol region in the next 20 years. Magkaroon ng railway system ang Cebu by creating the Metro Cebu Railway System sa pamamagitan ng isang batas. Magkaroon na talaga ng Mindanao Railway System by creating a law, creating the Metro Mindanao Railway System. Because what will fuel the momentum of growth of this country in the next 20 years is mass transport system, and railways will lead the way.
As Vice Chair of the House Appropriations Committee, alam naman natin kung gaano naging kontrobersyal itong 2025 National Budget. At meron din pong pending no, sa Korte Suprema na kina-question yung legality nito. Pero being part of yung process no, sa pag-create, sa pagpasa nitong budget na ito, kumpiyansa ba kayo na it will pass scrutiny, it will be declared legal, at yung ito nga talaga yung ginawa niyong kinraft yung budget is yung para mapaganda ang buhay ng mga Pilipino?
Well, I can't speak for the totality of the entire budget, but what I could speak of is yung sa DOTR. Kasi every vice chair has a department or agency in government na dinedefend. In my aspect na DOTR yung dinefend ko sa plenary hanggang makarating sa Senate, I think na I defended it well. All budgets na kailangan, especially the mass transport system natin, the railways, ay nailagay natin doon. And going back dun sa tanong na kumpiyansa ba kami, I think hopefully it will hurdle the Supreme Court's grilling. And whatever ruling naman, kailangan talaga sumunod tayo kung ano yung maging ruling ng Supreme Court. But on my side, which is I am part of, yung DOTR lang I could speak of. Nung dinefend ko yun sa plenary at sa lower house, masusi naman ang nabusisi at mahalaga yung mga priorities ng kasalukuyang administrasyon ay naibigay natin.
Let's talk political parties naman. Sure, you're quite familiar, di ba? So, nadaanan nyo ng lakas CMD, ang Liberal Party, ang PDP laban. Why are you running independent now, sir?
Sabi sir, political butterfly daw kayo.
Oo, yan yung tanong sa akin doon sa other channel. Hindi ko natapos yung paliwanag nun dahil 20 seconds lang yung ano. When I first ran, city councilor lang ako nun. So you don't control things of saan ka mapupunta. Kung saan pumunta yung mayor nun, sasama lang niya yung lineup na konsehal. I was a city councilor then, sinama ako doon. So nanalo ako. Tapos naging vice mayor ako. At that time, nasa lakas ako nun. Pagdating ng eleksyon, yung kalaban naming grupo, inagaw yung nomination doon sa partidong yun. Ako lang naman, ano ba naman ako, konsehal? Do I have a say on that? So, the interplay of local politics, sunod lang ako saan ako pupunta. So, if you consider that a butterfly, I don't know. Ano lang ako sumusunod ka
So,
lang.
kaya po
I
kayo
don't dictate that.
lumipat
I don't, by circumstance, masasama lang ako. You don't dictate the terms. Then, nung maging vice mayor ako, lakas pa din ako noon. Yung Liberal Party naman, kinuha nung kandidato ng Liberal Party, lumipat siya ng lakas. Congressman siya noon Ano ba naman ako, vice mayor lang ako noon. Inagaw na naman yung partido. Yung local interplay yan So, I don't have any choice. By circumstance, doon ako mapupunta. So, naging vice mayor na ako. More or less, vice mayor ka na, meron ka ng konting tindig noon.
2022, in-endorso ka ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Ngayon, independent ka na. Nagka-fallout ba kayo ng PDP?
It's much better to run independent so you could free yourself from political baggages.
In-endorso ka ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Nagka-fallout. Ngayon, independent ka na. Nagka-fallout ba kayo ng PDP laban?
Wala. Pupuntahan natin yung
Sige,
2022.
okay.
So, noong 2016, tatakbo dapat ako sa Liberal. The same congressman na palipat-lipat, inagaw naman sa akin yung party chairmanship sa Liberal Party. I have no recourse. Hindi nila akong binigyan ng kona. So, what will I do? So, PDP. And yun, 2016 PDP. Tatlo lang kaming nanalo nung time na yun, na PDP. So, that's how it goes. Tapos, wala kaming falling out. I think that
Why are you running as an independent now?
well, the 2022 run was on the course of a uniteam. So, itong takbo ko na to, I'm on my last term. Last minute kasi. So, buo na sila, buo na yung kabila. And I think it's much better to run independent so you could free yourself from political baggages or political pressures. So might as well run.
And sir, what do you think about yung pagkabuwag ng Uniteam?
Unfortunate, syempre malulungkot ka doon na we won big in 2022. Pero sa akin kasi ang mindset ko, running independent, I will always be supportive of PRRD. History will always be on his side. He exited with an 80% approval rating.
Until now?
At that time, no?
Yeah, pero ngayon po kasi hindi din kayo pumirma pala doon sa impeachment kay Vice President Sara. So nasaan po kayo ngayon? Do you still support the Dutertes?
Yeah, of course, I support PRRD. He has his place in our history. Kaya lang ako, tinitignan ko, looking forward, we have to support the current administration. In the same light that the PRRD had his good run, we wish the current president, a good run, and hopefully he will have a good ending in 3 years' time. So yun yung aking stand. That's why I remain independent.
Next, nabanggit nyo nga, you still support the Dutertes. You are also among the authors dun sa House resolution to protect Rodrigo Duterte from the International Criminal Court investigation. Dapat bang katakutan ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte yung ICC?
Hindi naman. Pero my take on that is we have our local courts to do its thing and it's functioning well. Although to some, the perception is mabagal, there are some hitches on it. but it's functioning.
What is your stand then, yung personal stand mo on EJK, lalo na since you are vocal about being against the death penalty as a very devout Catholic? Ano pong stand yung sa EJK mismo?
Well, EJK is not something that we can tolerate. Pero at that time, during the war on drugs, we are on the brink of being a narco state. Decisions have to be made. We have to support the president at that time. Sabi nga nila, we're on the brink. No, we're already a narco state, partially, sabi nila. And at that time, those difficult decisions have to be made. And we have to support the president on that. I have to go back, Ruth, dun sa impeachment. I did not sign. I did not sign.
Okay.
You know, political stability and economic progress go side by side. We have to give credit to the present administration. We had a good growth rate, although short of target by several GDP by several numbers. Pero this year, 2025, the projections is our GDP will be second to India, 6 point something. So we cannot, how do you put it into words? We cannot guluhin what is going on with a political situation like this, side by side with our economic activities. Well, collections have been good by the Bureau of Customs and the BIR. They hit the target, they overshoot their targets, meaning to say economic activity is good. So,
Wag yung momentum.
yes,
Ayun,
and the
yung
momentum.
momentum.
And when you go into an impeachment, the first order of business when we resume again, we are teetering on dangerous waters. The unexpected. No one could tell that. Pero syempre, I still go with the conservative and doing it, political stability and economic progress go side by side.
Yung
That's why I
literal
did
na
not sign.
Sinasabi nyo na dangerous waters, ililihis ko lang at ikokonek ko. Author kayo ng Philippine Coast Guard Modernization.
Yes.
Pero sa ngayon, di ba, tingnan natin West Philippine Sea. Parang tila laging nabubuli yung ating Philippine Coast Guard. Tingin nyo ba hindi may mga kailangang baguhin dito sa batas na ito? Anong pwede pang dagdag na tulong for our Philippine Coast Guard, lalo na in WPS?
Modernize. Well, part of DOTR is Coast Guard. Nagulat nga ako eh. So I defended also the budget of the Coast Guard. And you can see that we really have to put in funding in the next 5 to 10 years to modernize our Coast Guard. That's the bottom line of it all.
Talaga.
It's
Pondo.
funding.
Oo.
You got more ships to protect our coastlines, technology to go with that, drones, manpower is good. We have, yung manpower ng Coast Guard have grown by leaps and bounds. 5,000 now, we're around 19,000 and it's growing. But we need the logistical requirement to support this manpower. So, it's funding.
Bakit po kayo nararapat iboto ng mga Pilipino sa bilang Pilipino 2025 bilang senador?
41 is the only one. Iba naman, bago naman. You need a breath of fresh air. I told you, ako lang ang kandidatong naging SK Kagawad, Barangay Kagawad, konsehal ng bayan, vice mayor, at congressman. Ang trabaho ng senador, gumawa ng batas. Alam ko gumawa ng batas. I know how to get there. Bansang Pilipinas, hindi man sikat, pero may resume na karapat-dapat yung pag-isipan. Eric Martinez, number 41.
Maraming po salamat, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mahalaga sa amin ng mga kandidato, lalo kami mga hindi kilala, na marinig ng taong bayan, ng sambayanan, ng mga issues na aming dala at aming pagkatao. So, it was good. It was a good interview. Marami lang tanong at hopefully I did well and nasagot ko naman to the best of my ability. We need to put in super health centers, lalo sa mga lugar na malalayo, sa mga urban areas. And of course, the establishment of a national skin center. In the same light ng heart center, lung center, kidney center, a skin center that will cater to around 1 million plus Filipinos na may mga problema sa sakit sa balat.